boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. A two-way battle for WBC lightweight champion Carolyn Dubois, who could box one more time before the year is out, London, England. An announcement regarding the next move for WBC lightweight champion Carolyn Dubois has been described as imminent, as she could defend her title again before this year is out. The ring's #1 rated lightweight started 2025 with 2 fights in the first 3 months, but has now not boxed much since March. Dubois, 11-0 with 1 draw, 5 knockouts, had a frustrating technical draw with Jessica Kamara, following an early cut to the Canadian during their January outing. She then successfully defended her belt with a 10-round majority decision against the tough Bomi Shin, who rallied late at the Royal Albert Hall in March.
Though 8 months later, we haven't seen much of Carolyn, and it's not for lack of opportunity. I would say it's for lack of trying.
Since then, the 24-year-old Londoner has been awaiting the next step in her career after having her first 12 fights under the Boxer promotional banner. Ben Shalom's company left Sky in June and then signed a new broadcast deal with the BBC, which kicks off later on this month as Fraser Clark and Jamie TKV meet for the vacant British heavyweight title. Now Dubois' trainer and manager, Shane McGuigan, has revealed her next step may be towards MVP, the company who signed up a number of British female stars, including her stablemate and unified junior featherweight champion, Ellie Scottney,
who is also trained by Shane McGuigan. Not only that, 2 of the other champions at the same weight as Carolyn are already over there. Stephanie Hahn, WBA champion, is over there. Terry Harpur, WBO champion, is already over there.
Carolyn crossing over would seem the logical thing to do if she is free to do so. The question is she? McGuigan told The Ring, obviously you've got MVP, who have almost all the top females, and they are interested in Carolyn, of course, but then the BBC are very interested in her as well, so we will have news about her career very soon. It is imminent now. She is not in a massive rush. She's had 2 world title fights already this year, and she's not tight for cash in that sense.
She's got money.
She's got good endorsements and doing lots outside of the ring to try and build her profile. She just wants the best deal, is not willing to rush into a fight and get tied into a contract, which might explain why Carolyn's BBC debut has not yet been announced. If she is to debut on that new platform Boxer is aligned themselves with. Even so, the Southpaw could still box one more time before the end of this year. It has been suggested she could feasibly land a slot on the scheduled BBC card headlined by Callum Simpson and Troy Williamson in Leeds, 5 days before Christmas. McGuigan, who remained tight-lipped on where Dubois might box, added, there's potential for her to box again this year. She gets it, understands the industry, but yes, there could still be time. I feel like if she boxes on the Simpson versus Williamson undercard, that could come with strings attached, at a time where what Carolyn needs is to break away from Boxer. It's possible they have outlived their usefulness to that young fighter. Most any female fighter with a profile is now at MVP.
Carolyn's options for unification matches, at least 2 of them, are already at MVP, so it seems logical that she should break away now if she can.
What would be another heavy loss for the Boxer brand? The Boxer stable of fighters. Ben Whitaker has already left them, Joshua Buatsi, Lawrence Okoli. Carolyn could be next.
I said that shit was gonna happen. Them not getting the same money on BBC that they were getting on Sky Sports, fighters are gonna start to leave. They're gonna go where the money is, where the fight dates are.
Though as far as Carolyn, sitting out the last 8 months, she really didn't have to do that. She had the option of unifying titles with another champion at the weight, Beatrice Ferreira, who is with a major promotional outfit, boxing on a major platform, Matchroom and DAZN, that if what Carolyn really wanted was to stay active, she could have pursued that fight. No strings attached. No commitment to Matchroom.
It's not necessary. They would have paid for the fight and could have if Carolyn wanted it. But I've maintained for as long as I can remember, she don't want that fight, and she don't want nothing to do with Beatrice. Not right now. She's aging her out. So if Carolyn hasn't fought in the last 8 months, it's because she really didn't want to.
She didn't unify? It's because she really didn't want to. She's a very, very picky eater. We'll see where she pops up before this year is out, if she fights again at all.
Elsewhere in the world of boxing, an interesting email correspondence that's gone out to several members of the media detailing a newfound partnership between DAZN and Amazon Prime.
That a DAZN subscription is now available on Prime Video in the United States and the United Kingdom. DAZN pay-per-view events will also be available for purchase on Prime. Chris Eubank Jr. vs. Conor Benn 2, November 15th, and The Ring 4, Night of Champions on November 22nd, are the first upcoming DAZN pay-per-view events to be made available on Prime Video. DAZN channel also provides US and UK viewers with a wide range of non-live content, including shows, replays, and more. Deal expands DAZN availability beyond France, Spain, Germany, Italy, Japan, and Canada. New York, November 5th, 2025. The world's leading sports entertainment platform and the global home of boxing today announced the launch of the DAZN channel on Prime Video in the United States and UK, making its streaming service available as a subscription on Prime Video. It expands DAZN's distribution strategy, allowing its services to reach wider audiences with an entirety of DAZN's existing coverage library and live content for each market, currently available through Prime Video in France, Spain, Germany, Italy, Japan, and Canada. The United States and the UK are the latest countries where DAZN's services are available via Prime Video. DAZN's coverage in the United States and UK spans 185-plus fight nights a year from top promoters including Matchroom, Golden Boy, Queensberry, Misfits, PFL, BKFC, and more, as well as 300-plus live games from La Liga, Serie A, all 14 LIV golf tournaments live, basketball, and other properties that make up DAZN's extensive multi-sport portfolio. The addition of DAZN expands the growing selection of sports content on Prime Video, joining must-watch live sports on Prime, including NFL, Thursday Night Football, in the United States, the NBA on Prime, Global, and the UEFA Champions League, UK, as well as compelling live sports documentaries such as Allen Iverson, Built in Birmingham, Brady and the Blues, and more. DAZN pay-per-view events will also be available as a separate purchase, beginning with the hotly anticipated rematch between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn on November 15th. The following week, on November 22nd, we will see The Ring 4, Night of Champions, featuring light heavyweight champion David Benavidez defending his title against Anthony Yarde. So let's condense it. What is all of this for, and what does it actually mean? For Prime, it's an opportunity to expand their live sports catalog. By pairing up with DAZN, they have access to all of DAZN's content that they can make available to their existing subscribers. That's what it means for Amazon Prime. What it means for DAZN.
We've known for a while now that Amazon Prime wants to get into the racket of live sports. Pairing up with DAZN allows them to do that. That's what this means for Prime. What it means for DAZN.
What it means for DAZN is more foot traffic and more ability to market their events to an audience outside of the app. Because the way things have been, anything happening on DAZN would have gone largely unnoticed unless you have the app. And who has the app? Existing boxing fans, existing sports fans.
And that is a pool of millions upon millions of people around the world, but still, they're missing out on other eyes. Amazon Prime, comparatively, is an even bigger platform than DAZN. So by partnering up with them, you now get the foot traffic that you weren't getting before. More ability to market and advertise your events to an audience that maybe doesn't represent the hardcore boxing fan, but the casual boxing fan. Something that's been sort of lost since more and more Americans are cutting the cord and moving away from conventional cable packages. You don't get the same foot traffic that you used to. That somebody flipping through the channels might bump into an advertisement for a boxing match. It might spark their interest and they might decide to watch it. That casual viewer, that casual observer, with more and more people moving away from cable, that was sort of gone.
And this is an effort to get it back, just on a global scale.
Bring back the foot traffic.
Now, if you are an existing DAZN subscriber, nothing really changes for you.
For me.
This announcement, this partnership, is not about existing DAZN subscribers and those already hip to the app. This is for the people that aren't. This is DAZN's effort to try and reach those eyes that are not otherwise familiar with them or their events. This is about them.
Condense it.
What Amazon gets out of this partnership is an expanded sports catalog. What DAZN gets out of this partnership is foot traffic that they were not otherwise getting.
Does any of this relate to the upcoming pay-per-view premium package that's supposed to be announced this month?
No, not yet. We still don't know what that package is going to look like, what it's going to cost on top of what existing DAZN subscribers are already paying. But there is widespread speculation that would put the ballpark figure for it somewhere in the neighborhood of
$300 to $400, as it would cost the consumer in excess of $1,000 to watch every single pay-per-view on the platform. By paying half the price, you'll get access to every single box office fight they do.
Sounds good enough.
Oh yeah, mathematically it does, but remember that most people are actually bad at math, and most people don't have the disposable income at this time to dedicate $400 to $500 to a boxing budget just to watch boxing matches. Now what DAZN is thinking is that instead of paying in excess of $1,000 throughout the calendar year, if you pay half that price once, you get it all.
Pay it up front.
What they're not factoring into the equation is piracy. Piracy is an alternative. There are some people that are seeing these events and they ain't paying nothing for them. So what do you do about that?
What do you do about them?
Now, we've yet to see an official word or an official number from the powers that be as to what exactly is this going to cost. But rough estimates put it at about $500 annually, close to $500.
Initial reactions are already adverse, saying that's too fucking steep just to watch boxing, so we'll see what happens. Men's light heavyweight news, according to reports, Artur Beterbiev is now a promotional free agent after his top-ranked contract expired in June. Hi everyone, I've got a lot of questions about my promotional status. From June of this year, I'm a free agent. My contract with Top Rank expired. I'm grateful for all these years with Top Rank and want to thank them for the opportunities they gave me. I want everyone who follows and supports me to know that I believe the best fights are ahead. Artur Beterbiev.
So let's talk about Artur's relationship with Top Rank that spans 6, close to 7 years?
It was in the summer of 2018. After Artur Beterbiev parted ways with Yvonne Michel, Group Yvonne Michel, a Canadian-based promotional outfit that was doing a lot of business with the PBC, Artur Beterbiev managed to separate from them and he crossed over to Matchroom, though his stay there didn't last very long. He only had one fight under the Matchroom banner, the Callum Johnson fight, and shortly after that, it was announced in January of 2019 that he would be leaving DAZN to go over to ESPN, effectively signing to Top Rank.
And he's been there ever since, up until recently.
Now, Artur Beterbiev's time at Top Rank was highly beneficial, even if he himself never became a household name or a casual favorite. His time at Top Rank is what put him on the path that led him to Saudi Arabia, led him to the biggest fights of his career and the biggest purses. All of that was made possible by his time at Top Rank, his unification match with Alexander Vazdik, his other unification match with Joe Smith Jr.
Top Rank footed the bill for the both of those fights, each time bringing Artur one step closer to becoming undisputed champion. So even if they were not able to make him a household name, they still put him on the path to undisputed, to the biggest fights of his career and the biggest purses. If you're wondering, why were they not able to make Artur a household name?
Well, Top Rank operates primarily in America, and American boxing fans are highly xenophobic. That unless you're a Mexican fighter or a Puerto Rican fighter, an African American fighter, the Americans don't really care about you that much, even if you're really good, like Artur's really good.
And well respected.
Though Artur is not based out of America, he's actually based out of Canada. Artur's not one to mince words. This is not a guy with a sparkling personality. He's not exactly charismatic,
though highly entertaining in action. In the ring, Artur Beterbiev is must-see TV, but outside of it, he's kind of hard to market. So if you're wondering, why couldn't they turn him into a star? It's not an easy assignment.
Here in his late 30s, coming up on 40, he's become a network and promotional free agent. What are his options? Why not re-sign with Top Rank? Well, Top Rank are between broadcasters right now, so they can't offer him much.
What about going back to Matchroom?
Oh yeah, I suppose he could go back to Matchroom, but he doesn't really need Matchroom anymore. To do what and fight who? Since he's already in good with the Turk, Turkey can get him all the fights that he needs. The Bivol rematch, the Benavidez fight, Jayo Pataya fight if he wants to move up the cruiser, that it's not actually necessary for Artur to sign to Top Rank or Matchroom or really anybody anymore. As long as Turkey is willing to use him, and I think that he is, he doesn't need a promoter right now.
Now, Artur Beterbiev was supposed to make his next ring appearance on the undercard of Benavidez versus Yard, but there have since been tenuous reports that he won't be boxing on that show per his opponent. And the caveat with being a free agent under these circumstances is while Turkey can get you the biggest of the big fights, Turkey's not really in the business of the in-between fights, the interim fights, and the stay-busy fights that a fighter sometimes needs.
I mean, he might do it every so often, but we all know that that's not Turkey LL Sheik's aim. His aim is to put together the biggest of the big fights. So that's the caveat with being a free agent. You're at Turkey's disposal whenever he wants to use you, though when he wants to use you is at his own discretion.
It's entirely up to him.
So I can see the virtue of signing to a promotional outfit. Even if Artur doesn't necessarily need one, I can see the virtue in it, but I can also see the virtue of free agency.
What do you recommend?
Oh, if I were Artur's advisor, I would recommend that he signs to Matchroom. If I were to make a recommendation to him, sign to a promoter that's a bit more international than just Top Rank, who primarily operates in America. I'd tell him to sign to Matchroom on the premise that Matchroom can keep you busy whenever you need to keep busy, and signing to them would not impede your ability to participate in Turkey's Ring Magazine and Riyadh season cards, that you can keep Matchroom in your back pocket whenever you need them and fight in the big fights whenever they become available. If I were to provide him counsel, that's what I would tell him to do. Though ultimately,
It's up to him?
he is 38 or 39 years old. However old he is now, who knows what his future plans are? He's not a man to mince words.
Why Matchroom?
Well, Matchroom does shows all around the world, more than anybody. They do shows in the United Kingdom, shows in the United States, shows in Monte Carlo, Australia, sometimes Mexico.
More shows and more locations equals more fight dates, more opportunities to get out there.
As stated, even if Artur doesn't necessarily need a promoter, it can't hurt to have one like Matchroom that does a lot of shows internationally and still works with the Turk. Ultimately, we'll see what Artur Beterbiev himself decides to do.